Welcome, everyone, to another episode of the Caffeinated Librarians. I'm your main host, Lewis. I'm also here with Joe and Simona. Today we're talking about my favorite manga series, Sailor Moon. Is it Dreamcatcher? Sailor Moon Dreamcatcher? Or isn't there like a subtitle thing?
Pretty Guardian Sailor
That's
Moon.
it. Yeah, Pretty Guardian Sailor Moon. Yes, it's the story of Usagi.
Sure.
And which Joe told me means rabbit.
Yeah,
in
weird
Japanese.
Name for her parents to give her. I don't know if it's a common name or
It's because it's in reference to the belief that there's a rabbit in the moon.
Yeah.
And she comes from the moon.
Yes, she sure does. So, Simona, I know that this is your first time, like, reading this and everything, and you don't know much about it, but why don't you tell us, give us a little synopsis?
Sure. Well, what I had planned when I assumed I was doing the intro.
Oh, you were going to do a special intro?
No, of course not, Lou.
Oh,
You're the main host.
Take two. Simona, go.
All right, so we are discussing Pretty Guardian Sailor Moon Volume 1, which is written and illustrated by Naoko Takeuchi. So the manga was serialized from 1991 to 1997 in the shoujo manga magazine Nakayoshi. And then later it was adapted into an animated series produced by Toei Animation that was broadcasted in Japan from 92 to 97.
I told her all this stuff before we started.
And since then, Sailor Moon has been adapted into 5 major films, a live-action series, and it's also a musical.
There was a live-action Sailor Moon?
Yes.
Where was that airing?
So it aired in Japan in the early 2000s. I watched it on YouTube, although recently I read in the news that it will now be made available, I believe, to American audiences. I don't recall where it'll be broadcast, but it was in, I think, the early to mid 2000s. It was a live action.
Yeah, it looks like it ran from 2003 to 2004.
Yeah, and I was able to watch it on YouTube. I'm not sure if it's still on YouTube, but that's where I saw it.
Here's my question about anime. So I see you said that show ran for a year.
Yeah.
There were 49 episodes. That's insane. How
Okay.
do you film that
Live
much?
action Japanese TV does not mess around. They film on a crazy schedule.
That is wild to me. 49.
Tokusatsu moves at a different speed. It's
So my wife likes the anime of One Piece.
Oh, that is never ending. Yeah, that's been going on forever.
Yeah.
And the manga's still going too.
Are they,
There's no
so
end
they're
in
still
sight.
making? So it's not even
Yeah.
like she'll make it to the end.
No, it is still ongoing.
Wow, I had no idea. I was just like, what season are you on? She's like, I don't know what she said. She said like season 32, like episode 1 million.
Yeah,
or
the
something
manga
like that.
has been running since 1997. Wow. It has 112 volumes, and the anime's been going since 1999.
Oh my!
Yeah, and
with
Netflix
1,137 episodes.
Yeah, and then Netflix did a live action, and it was renewed for a second season. I watched the live action, which is really good. I enjoy
heard people
it.
like the live action.
Yeah.
People love the anime though. Like
Yeah.
people always swear by. People love the manga too. They say it's like some of the best shonen stuff you can come across.
Yeah.
Which for Lou, do you know what shonen is?
I do not.
All right, for you and our viewers who may not know too much about anime or manga, that's like usually action series aimed at like adolescent boys.
Oh.
Whereas like Sailor Moon is often categorized as a shoujo series, which means it's aimed at adolescent girls.
Yes.
Interesting, because actually that's one of the things I said to Joe. Like after I read this, I was like, I think when I grew up, I knew of 2 animes. I knew of Sailor Moon and I knew of Dragon Ball Z. I didn't watch either of them, but those are like the ones that my American mind knew.
Yeah. And yeah, Dragon Ball Z would be a shonen. You know? Yeah.
So interesting.
Yeah, so, and just talking a little bit about the central character. So, she's a 14-year-old middle school student.
She loves to sleep.
Yes. Named Usagi Tsukino. And she lives with her mom, her dad. She has a younger brother, which in the animated series from the 90s, you don't see too much of her younger brother, but she does have one. So she's a very kind-hearted girl. She's not the best at her studies,
No,
but
she's not good at school at all.
but she makes up for her lack of study skills for
By
her.
being a superhero.
Yes, and she has a really kind heart. She's passionate about her friends,
She has
and
a cat that knows how to use a computer.
I
Yes.
love Luna. Luna's
Yeah.
great. She on the computer. She's reading the newspaper.
Moving. I don't know how the cat moved the mouse, but impressive.
I really loved the little panel of her typing. I don't know.
she manages. So Usagi's life is changed forever when she meets a cat named Luna, and Luna informs her that she is a sailor guardian who is charged with protecting the Earth from dark, nefarious forces.
I like how Joe actually pointed this out.
Yeah.
When Luna, tells Usagi this, Usagi's just kind of like, okay.
Yeah, she really doesn't question much of anything, and then Mercury's like, "I'm sorry, who are we fighting? What's going on?"
Well, Mercury is the brains of the group. Yeah, and she is later joined by other Sailor Guardians. So just quickly, a quick run through. There's Sailor Mercury, who's Ami Mitsuno. There's Sailor Mars, who's Rei Hino.
She's the mysterious spiritual one.
Yes. There's Sailor Jupiter, who's Makoto Kino, who's sort of the tomboyish member of the group. And then later on, you meet her a little later, probably in volume 2, I believe, or 3. It's Sailor Venus, who's Minako Aino.
Yeah, they tease her at the end of this one.
Yes.
Who is, Amanda told me that she said the name, I just don't remember. She said there's one that everybody has a crush on. Who's the one that everybody has a crush on?
From the inner, or there's the outer Senshi as well, who are Sailor Uranus,
that might-
Neptune, and
that's
Pluto.
That's a bit of a reach question for me. We'll have to get back to our audience on that one.
Yeah, I'm not one Sailor Scout that sort of I understand why everyone has a crush on her is Sailor Uranus, who's the or Uranus, however you're supposed to say it. She's the
I don't think anybody's ever. Do people pronounce it Uranus?
Some
That's
people
the technical
do.
way,
Yeah.
I think.
Oh,
because
that
they
is-
got tired of people making jokes,
Oh,
probably.
like I just did?
Yeah.
They got tired of immature people that every time you say Uranus stare at the camera.
Yeah, it could be her. She's a race car driver. When she first meets the other Sailor Scouts, they assume that she's a handsome guy, and she just goes with it.
That might be it, actually.
Yes, yeah.
Oh wait, maybe no. Don't they? Didn't that like a thing they propose in Mad Men when they're pitching Honda?
Yes, yeah. That is a Honda pitch. In
Yeah.
that event.
Yeah. So that's like the basic premise of the manga. And she, over the course of the series, she gets new allies. One being the main love interest, who's Tuxedo Mask.
yeah.
Who's also in high school?
Well, she's in middle school. Middle school is 14, 15. He's about 17 years
No,
old.
middle school's like
For her-
12.
No, this is Japan.
Okay.
Yeah,
She's
he's
14.
a sophomore in high school.
Oh, he's
Yeah.
only a sophomore?
Yeah, it said he was
Did it?
year 2.
Okay,
Yeah.
all right. I guess that's not that.
Well, in the when they dubbed the anime in the for American audiences, they made him a college student.
And her in middle school still?
Yes.
Why would
Why'd
they do that?
They also made
It's bizarre.
Uranus and Neptune cousins.
Well, no, that was my nugget. That was my nugget. You took a nugget. That was one of my nuggets.
Sorry, you proceed. You let us in. You continue.
So it is Uranus and Neptune because that's what she was talking about.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah, so they were, I guess, so Amanda was talking about how she doesn't really like Sailor Moon, but she was saying that she respects it because it's pretty progressive. Like it had openly gay characters.
Yes.
But when she was telling me that when they moved it to the American version, they made Uranus and Neptune cousins, but didn't change any of the mannerisms or anything
No,
like that.
in Mexico they made them sisters.
Like, that's so much worse. Like, that's disgusting.
Well, yeah.
Yeah.
They were like, no,
don't worry. They're just incestuous.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, Haruka and Michiru are Sailor Uranus and Sailor Neptune, and they're in a romantic relationship, which I remember because I started off, for many within the States who watched it, unless you had access to the original Japanese.
Which is very unlikely at the
You
time.
know Usagi as I knew her as Serena, Mamoru was Darien.
Oh, they even had different names.
They had different names.
I believe the nerd boy was called Melvin.
Yeah.
And I still call him that because that's a great name.
Yeah,
awesome.
the only ones like Ami became Amy, Ray stayed Ray.
It would have been funny if Melvin was actually his name in the Japanese one too, and they were like,
Yeah.
no, this is just too perfect.
Really a Melvin.
Yeah, so that's how I knew them. Unfortunately, I can't remember what the names of the other Sailor Scouts were. But I don't even know what they called Haruka and Michiru. I cannot remember what names they gave them. But I remember when I saw the Japanese, there's a scene where Michiru is trying to pull Haruka up, and she mentions how she's eating too many sweets. And Haruka says, I don't allow that talk outside of the bedroom. And my mind was blown because I was like, oh my God. They're
Someone
a
was
couple.
like, they're cousins. Gross.
Actually, I didn't think that. I was like, they're a couple? And I was like, I remember like, because obviously in the American one, they couldn't make them a couple. They didn't change really any of the situations, any of their like longing stares or like their whatever. So I was trying to figure out what was going on between the two of them. And then when I saw the Japanese, I was like, oh, they're a couple. That makes sense now. So yeah. So Tuxedo Mask, who's Mamoru Chiba, he becomes Usagi's love interest, and eventually they marry by the end of the manga series.
Well, spoiler alert.
Listen,
Wait, how old do they get?
He goes into college.
She stays in middle school because her grades are so bad.
She's 20 years old.
And I think she's like, in high school by that point. Yeah,
That's still crazy to get married in high school.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, they're in love. So yeah. Yeah, so any questions?
So I guess he's not a bad guy, which is
No.
good.
No.
Because I liked him.
He was fun. Yeah.
But like when the cat is like, I can't tell if you're an enemy or an ally, and he's like, I might be an enemy. I'm like, dude, like why don't you just tell the cat like, hey, no, I'm here to help.
He doesn't know.
Because he's
He
snarky.
straight up doesn't know.
He's a very snarky character. Yeah, he starts off where like Luna and even Usagi is not sure as to whether or not she can trust him.
Usagi likes him though. She knows
Yes.
that. They talk about warm feelings a lot.
Yes.
Like twice. I was like, that's twice too many times for me.
Yeah. So spoiler if you haven't read this, but whatever. It's over 20 years old now.
It's over 30 years.
Yeah. Wow. Yeah, 30. So Usagi later learns, because throughout the first volume and in subsequent volumes, she has this feeling that she knows him. He also has this feeling like, I know her, but they can't quite pinpoint why they know each other.
It's crazy because, he just has the mask on. Already not a great disguise.
Yeah.
She has not even a disguise. No. She just wears a different outfit.
Yeah.
She does have a mask at some point.
Sometimes. Most of the time she doesn't. And even her mask is just like glasses.
Yeah.
Well, I remember when I watched the anime, I was thinking, how is it that no one knows the identity of this girl?
Yeah.
I think her parents should be ashamed of themselves. They keep seeing her and they're like, that looks kind of like my daughter, but I'm sure it's not.
Like, at first I thought the reveal would be that when they're, like, transformed, maybe they have a glamour on them, but, like, no. So I honestly don't know why no one can ever tell who's
It's like
who.
the Superman thing.
Yeah, you just gotta roll with it.
Yeah, like, I remember when Haruka and Michiru, like, figure out who she is, and I'm like, really, girls? Like, it's not obvious. Or even, like, when the other Sailor Scouts, like, oh, my God. They're Sailor Scouts, too.
Even Melvin says, like, right? Like, he's like,
Yeah, Melvin's like, you look just like Sailor Moon. That's weird.
Yeah.
Yeah, so there's like some interesting villains that appear throughout this manga's run.
Okay, can I say the villain designs are like shockingly gnarly? Like whenever they're in like real demon form, and she usually is like cutting them in half or decapitating them with her tiara, which is a lot harder than I expected this to go. If I'm being perfectly honest, I was like, "Whoa, okay." I saw a couple episodes of the anime, and I don't think they ever got that gory with it. So
Yeah.
not that this is like a gore fest, you know.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
all of the panels of the villains being defeated always were really interesting. The art in this was fascinating to me because a lot of it was really cutesy, and then sometimes it would just get not so.
Yeah, the I don't know if it was the demons, but they actually looked kind of scary.
Yeah.
Yeah, there are some where even when I was watching the anime, I'd be like, "Oh my god, that's a freaky like villain." Like there's toward the end of this volume, there's like the bride mannequin that's like kidnapping men.
I will say I had a hard time following that chapter.
Yeah.
I know Sailor the tomboy one. What's her name?
Oh,
I'm sorry.
Jupiter.
Jupiter. I know she's meant to have brown hair, but she looked blonde in the manga because it's black and white. And her, Usagi, and the bride were all blonde and was giving me a really tough time.
Yeah, that I remember was kind of a freaky moment because they did like a mannequin coming to life is always kind of freaky, and in the anime it's done pretty well too. So yeah, there are definite like heroes where there is a freaky, almost unsettling element to it. I remember when Amanda and I, this is when we were closed for COVID all those many years ago, and we were discussing Sailor Moon. And I was talking about the really skimpy outfits that a lot of the female characters were put in the animated series. And I forgot where I was going with it. Okay. So, like I remember I mentioned something where it's like, why are the skirts as short as they are? Because if you look at the sailor outfits, and I have, like, an original, like, illustration in color, it's like... Because also they have very long legs, but like they're so short. And I remember in the animated sequence when they transform, there's always like an upshot with some of the characters.
The mangaka did say that she felt that because Toei had a mostly male production staff, that the anime has a slight male perspective, which I think is her being very kind.
Yes, yeah. Yeah, so there were definitely a lot of interesting villains, even the 4 commanders. So there's Jadeite, Nephrite, Zoisite, and Kunzite. And 2 of them are actually in a romantic relationship. In the anime, of course, when it reached our shores, they made one of them a woman so that it was more acceptable.
Who is the evil lady, though?
Oh, Queen Beryl.
Queen Beryl, okay.
Yes.
And then the big demon, what was her name?
Oh,
Because she was like, she might get too big and eat everything.
Materia.
Materia, yes.
Yes. Queen Beryl has a very interesting backstory. Spoilers.
I like that she was like, seemed a little conflicted about it, but was like, I've made my bargain. Like,
yes. So what you learn as the manga progresses is that Mamoru at one point in his past life was the prince of planet Earth. Usagi was the princess of the moon. Their relationship was a forbidden one because the moon and the earth kingdom were never supposed to really interfere with one another. Queen Beryl was an inhabitant of earth who loved Prince Mamoru, and she became jealous when she realized he loved Usagi, and so she made this pact with Queen Materia to get power, and she caused the war that erupted between Earth and the Moon, which eventually destroyed the Moon Kingdom, which is why Usagi and the Sailor Scouts were sent to be reincarnated.
Okay, I was going to say, these girls have lived these lives before, right?
Yeah, they were sent back reincarnated, and they slowly regain the memories of their past lives, because when they're born, they have no idea of their previous identities. But what's really cool about the commanders is that they were formerly knights of Prince Mamoru.
Ooh.
So they're like the male counterparts of the Sailor Scouts.
Okay.
But yeah, 2 of them are actually in a relationship. But when it was brought to America, they said, we can't have this. So they made one of them a woman, which I must have been, I don't know, like maybe I always, like when I was younger, I was like, but it doesn't look like a woman. Something seems off. And I was like, that makes a lot of sense because it's not. But of course we couldn't have that. So and I forgot which one they made a woman so that the relationship was acceptable. But yeah, they have lost their memory, so they don't remember who they are. But at one point, they get healed by Sailor Moon's crystal, and they remember their past lives and who they were to Mamoru, what their purpose was. And I don't know if it's hinted at that some of them may have had relationships with the Sailor Scouts. I'm not 100% clear on that. But so they have a very interesting backstory. So they've been corrupted, so they don't remember who they are, and they're working for Queen Beryl. So yeah. So like, overall, like any questions, any things that it was like this makes no sense, or
Well, no, I think it made sense because we
Yeah.
started with volume 1.
no, I meant like
I had a lot of fun with it.
Oh,
I thought,
cool,
yeah.
cool. Because I was concerned because it is a very girly manga, so that was like my one concern. But
You know, I don't know that I thought it was very girly. Like I didn't really get that vibe because I think like my limited exposure to manga, like they all read like this to me.
oh, okay,
The limited ones that I've read
yeah,
or looked at. I mean, you know, I don't even think I've read any. So no, I don't think it was girly, and I did think the artwork was cool. I thought sometimes it was hard to focus. It was hard to pay attention to the artwork when, especially. I mean, obviously, this is the first time I've read one, so this is the first time I've read it the way you're reading it backwards and everything like that, and so I think focusing on the art was a little hard for me, like because I was more paying attention to where I'm supposed to go with the words next.
yeah.
Yeah, that's just something where you get used to it after a while.
Yeah, I would imagine. Yeah.
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 You continue,
No, and I was
sorry.
just gonna say like comparing it to like the comics that we've read, like definitely having this stuff in color helped with the comics.
Yeah.
You know.
I did like the occasional color pages in this. I thought they were
mhm.
nice. I like when manga does that. I don't know why it's only ever for like a few pages, but
Oh, I didn't have any color pages in it.
I think sometimes
some editions don't have
yeah,
it.
like
Oh,
at
yeah?
the start, I don't know what the pages are called, like how they're referred to, but they will have like colored panels.
Yeah, it's usually just
yeah.
like, ooh, look. It's
Yeah.
trying to catch your eye.
Oh,
That's
yeah.
the deal, yeah. But, yeah, I had a lot of fun with it. I will say I got a little tired about hearing about this mystical silver crystal. I felt like half the conversations were about the mystical silver crystal, and I was
It's
like,
a very
okay.
important mystical
So
silver
is that
crystal.
like the whole point of the entire manga is for them to find this crystal?
Yeah, so
Who
the
has it? I want to know. Where's it
it's
at?
so it's I believe, because I'm trying to remember, I think it's revealed because essentially they're also trying to find the Moon Princess, whom they assume.
Oh, that's not Princess D?
No.
No.
They were
No.
like, even in that chapter, they were like, nah, this ain't her.
Yeah,
Oh, so we are sure on that.
Yes.
Because even that, after that, I was like, oh, maybe.
No.
I wanted Princess D to meet Melvin. That's what I was rooting for, and I was always
Yeah.
kind of mad they didn't.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, I want Melvin to become like prince of some foreign country.
Prince D.
Yeah.
So they're all, in addition to looking for the silver crystal, they're also looking for the Moon Princess. And at one point, they assume the Moon Princess is Sailor Venus because Sailor Venus herself believes she's the Moon Princess.
Wouldn't Sailor Moon be the Moon Princess?
I was getting to that part, Lou. If you let me finish my thought.
But like, if that's like,
Because-
wouldn't they think is she the Moon Princess?
Yeah, Usagi eventually, because the point is that they don't know who it is. Even Usagi doesn't know
Right,
she's
right.
the princess.
But her name is Sailor Moon. Couldn't they make the assumption
I don't
that
know.
she might be the Moon Princess?
They're all just like, she's kind of dumb.
Maybe that's it.
Yeah, so for a while, Sailor Venus believes that she's the Moon Princess, because also their memories have been altered. And then eventually it's revealed, no, she's not. She's really Sailor Venus. Sailor Moon is revealed to be the actual princess. And I think once she's revealed, I think is when they find the silver crystal, because I don't know if it's like within her. I don't really remember too much.
She's got it with her the whole time?
But they don't know. That's the whole point. So yeah, I'm struggling to even remember that much at this point. But I think it's once she's revealed to be the princess, I think is when they discover the identity or the whereabouts of the crystal.
She's got it in the bottom of her backpack or something. It's like...
There were similarities to Buffy, I felt like, in a lot of this.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
In what way?
Well, first of all, like being called to do battle when you're just a regular teenager, and, like the struggles with school, and also just in the sort of casual attitude they have to a lot of the more disturbing things happening in Tokyo. Like, one point they're just like, seems like 10 girls have gone missing from the same middle school. Be careful. And it's like, that's it? It's like, no, like, I feel like everything would get shut down. Like,
it'd be a town-wide curfew, you know.
Let me just see something, because now I have to look it up. Oh, okay. So it says that when Usagi remembers her past with Mamoru, she cries, and from her tear, the silver crystal is formed.
Oh.
So it's a tiny crystal.
Yeah. And then eventually, like, the crystal becomes a part, because all the Sailor Scouts at some points get power upgrades, and Sailor Moon also gets power upgrades. So she'll have like a wand, and then she has a staff, and the crystal is always a part of the instrument that she uses. So it's like the source of her power. So yeah, according to the manga, that's how it's sort of revealed. So technically it is within her. So I was correct in that sense.
Interesting. All right, so she doesn't just like have it under her math homework.
No, definitely not. Right. Definitely not.
What's with the pen? Every time they're in battle, they're like, "Throw the pen. You'll be fine."
So yeah, that's a like a tool that she never again uses. It's almost like.
Are you kidding me?
Yeah, she never uses it
like
again.
Twice here.
Yeah, it's like one of those things. Like even in the anime, I think it only appears in like 1 or 2 episodes. Then it's almost like forgotten. And she never
was mainly just using it to put on disguises, which I thought were funny because it was just like, that's just a doctor outfit. You can just go to a store and buy that.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then again, I don't know how well she's disguised. Yeah, like it. I remember there was this kid when I was in high school. He was talking about Sailor Moon because in the anime, whenever there's the transformation sequence, it always takes a really long time. They're really elaborate.
It was a good money-saving technique to reuse the animation every episode. So it could take a minute, you know?
Yeah. So at one point he was like, it doesn't make any sense. She's like, she's transforming, and the villains are just waiting there. And I thought to myself, it is true. Like, how long is this taking? Then in other episodes, you see, like, they say their name, and then they quickly transform. So technically, it's not taking that long for them to transform into their sailor outfits.
You were just getting slow-mo.
Yeah. Because I saw, like, in one scene, like, Uranus says, Uranus power, like, a wave and then it comes down and she's in her outfit already. But the transformation sequences look cool, and every time they get an upgrade, the sequence changes.
That's fun, yeah.
Yeah, and so it's, I don't know, it's just really interesting. It probably is a way to sort of get more whatever, but there are episodes where you see the transformation is instantaneous. It's not taking that long, but I remember that guy in my class was so funny, and he made me really think about it. It's like, oh, he's right. So yeah.
Uranus power, huh? Yeah.
Well, she has some of the best attack sequences.
I bet.
Oh, I'm sorry, Simona, but
hey, man, when Uranus needs to fire, you know, you just oh man.
But yeah, who's your favorite of the scouts we meet in this first volume?
Oh, I've always asked myself that question, and I don't know. Like, when I was younger, I always wished I was Amy because she's so smart, and like I wished I was as smart as Amy was. But I don't really know. Like, I know of the later ones that we meet. Sailor Uranus, I think, probably is my favorite. I just like her personality and her sass.
Would you say she's fiery?
Oh my god.
Is she the race car driver?
Yes. I also love how she flirts with everyone, and but when Michiru is flirted with, she gets all defensive, but
Well, it's a girl, right?
it is her girl too, but I like how Michiru will flirt back. It's funny because when they first meet her, they assume she's a guy, and she goes with it. And she mostly dresses in guys' clothing. You never really see her in a dress unless there's the special illustrations of her where she's in a dress or she's in her sailor outfit. But for the most part, she wears pants, shorts. And she just goes with it. They assume she's a guy. She's like, yeah, I'm whatever you want me to be. And at one point, Michiru even says, I think Haruka has no gender or something like that. So the anime and the manga definitely were pretty progressive for their times in terms of representation of different characters. But I would say maybe she's my favorite. I really like her. And she has awesome powers. I love her. She's my favorite. And maybe Sailor Pluto. Because Sailor Pluto is she's the daughter of Kronos. So she guards the gates of time. So she's essentially a very lonely Sailor Scout. It's very sad. She's not really supposed to have contact with humans ever.
She was a sailor and then they said she's not a sailor anymore and now she's a sailor again?
No, she's always been a Sailor Scout. I just feel so bad because
Pluto, astronomy joke there for you guys.
I was about to say that Pluto's no longer a planet, so I kind of feel bad for Sailor Pluto now, but whatever, she's still a Sailor Scout. But that's her origin story. She guards the doors of time and space.
Damn.
Wow, that sounds like a heavy job.
I thought Mercury and Mars were kind of cool.
No, they definitely are, and I love Mars because there's this belief within the fandom, because Mars and also Venus, not that they're together, but that there might be a slight attraction, which is possible. Also, Mars always says that she's not interested in men, that her duty to her role as a guardian comes before love and all else. But sometimes she will kind of get flirty with Venus, or Jupiter and Mercury will kind of get flirty. There's a whole scene where they dance together, which doesn't mean anything. But anyway, a lot of fans are thinking, that could there be something between them or whatnot. But
Is there a sailor sun?
No.
There's no sun.
No.
Interesting.
Yeah. Throughout the...
So there's a sailor for each planet. There's a sailor Saturn?
Yes.
Nice.
Mm-hmm.
Does she wear rings? No. It's a shame. Missed
They
opportunity.
they missed out on that one.
Yeah, they're part of the outer sort of Sailor Scouts, because they're they also have they're definitely, I would argue, maybe the stronger of the Scouts. Some people may disagree, but Sailor Saturn has a very dark origin story. But yeah, she's also the one where because of the innate darkness within her, she can sometimes have I was trying to think she just has a very interesting backstory, because her father's this mad scientist. So when she awakens into her powers, she starts off as a really small baby and then she grows exponentially overnight. And also Haruka, Michiru, and Sailor Pluto raise her. They have a family together. So they all live together and they raise baby Saturn. So it's very cute. They become her de facto parents. Of the Sailor Scouts that we meet here, I would say Sailor Mercury.
All right.
Yeah.
Now,
All right.
according to Wikipedia, which might be wrong about this, but this seemed to be one of the first in the magical girl genre to really have a heavy action focus, which seems cool to me. I didn't know that. I think this has so influenced everything that's come after in the genre that I just kind of expected that it always had that focus.
Yeah. I remember when we had that discussion when I made you guys, I didn't make you guys, when I asked that you guys watch Sailor Moon Crystal. And I know Amanda had something to say about the magical girl, which one actually started, or I think she had a different take on it. It could very well be. I'm not sure.
I think this started the action trend.
Interesting.
It seemed like it was taking a lot from Super Sentai and Kamen Rider in the terms of the transformations and yeah.
Oh, okay, cool. So, do we want to go to ratings, or do you guys have like final thoughts? Or
I think those can kind of go together. I'll
Okay.
I'll lead off.
Sure.
I liked it for the most part. Was it my favorite? No, but I certainly wasn't like, it wasn't like, oh my gosh, there's more.
like Bubble?
Like Bubble, oh my goodness, Bubble was just the worst thing in the world. I'll never get over that. It still haunts me. It was interesting. I was definitely interested. Like I wanted to know about the crystal thing. And then I said to Joe, I was like, but you don't find out anything about the crystal. And he's like, yeah, well, this is the first volume. And I was like, oh yeah, that's a good point. Yeah,
it would be pretty bad if the series just wrapped it off into 6 issues.
So now I know, though. So now I don't have to read the rest of it.
Yes, you don't have- unless you want to, like unless you're desperately itching to find out more.
Yeah.
There are only 18 volumes, so
Yeah.
not too bad.
It's doable.
There's 18. Wow.
It's doable.
How many do we have here?
I don't. Do we even have the first one?
Yes. Wow.
I would
18.
give it 2.5 crystal skulls out of 5.
Crystal Skull.
Crystal things out of 5. Yeah. Yeah. It wasn't. It's just not my thing. But I
Yeah.
didn't not enjoy it.
Yeah.
It just. But I read it.
Yeah, and I do appreciate you guys reading it.
Yeah, no, I had fun with it. I'm probably hitting it with like 3.5 crystal skulls. I don't know why we're using crystal skulls, but no, it's fun. Like it's. I can see why this became like a huge hit. Like it might not be directly up my alley, but like this is obviously an important piece of manga.
Yeah.
This kind of changed the game for a lot of stuff, and you can feel its influence even just looking at this first volume. Like I don't know, it's cool. Check it out. Like it's worth checking out.
Yeah, well, of course, it's going to be a 5 out of 5. As I've always talked about Sailor Moon on this podcast, has a very special place for me. Watched it when I was in middle school. The manga, I think I'm kind of bad when it comes to reading manga because, as Lou mentioned, sometimes the panels can be overwhelming, and sometimes I have a hard time who's this, because especially since it's in black and white, keeping track of characters. So I have a preference for the anime, although I have tried to start reading the manga, and I would argue that the Sailor Moon Crystal, which aired on Netflix, is a lot closer to the manga. It follows it more faithfully than the original 90s anime.
But it looks a lot worse. So.
Oh.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, the 90s anime has these beautiful pastel colors and
Yes.
these great watercolor backgrounds, and
Yes.
it's just really nice to look at.
A
Whereas
lot of filler episodes. No
Yeah.
one will deny there was a ton of filler with the 90s, but if I have to compare the animation style of the 90s versus Sailor Moon Crystal, it's like night and day. They improved dramatically with Sailor Moon Cosmos. I was really impressed with the animation in Sailor, but yeah, Sailor Moon Crystal is wonky.
So, Sailor Moon, this is Pretty Guardian, right?
Yeah.
Are there other Sailor Moon mangas?
there are
Series?
not large series.
Oh, okay.
There's a couple one-offs and stuff like that, but in terms of it's one main manga series.
Yeah.
Oh.
Which is a nice thing about most manga.
Yeah.
Usually pretty condensed into just
Yeah.
one series.
Oh, yeah.
As opposed to American comics, where it's well, if you want to read about Superman, you got to check out Action Comics.
Yeah, and I think that's why
yeah.
I was asking, because that's why I was they're different, what do you call them? When they're...
Series.
Yeah, but you always call them something, and I'm probably just not describing it. Runs, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
No, and another thing with most manga, it's usually written and drawn by one person.
Okay.
Yeah.
And for the entirety of the series.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah, there are. What I thought you were going to ask if there's other Sailor Scouts. There are. What you learn as the manga progresses that there are, because there are multiple galaxies, so there are other Sailor
Oh,
Scouts.
so they make up planets?
They're Yeah, there's like different universes, so you do meet those other scouts.
Oh, that's dope.
Yeah, which is very cool. You do get to meet other like guardians of other planets and whatnot. So yeah, so my rating 5 out of 5. I love Sailor Moon. Another thing too is that the Sailor Moon museum, which is in Japan, is
There's
coming.
a museum?
Yes, it has like outfits. It has original illustrations. It has props. It's coming to New York.
Oh, that's awesome.
What?
Yeah. Oh, I don't recall like when the date is exactly, but I don't know. It's something that in my mind I think I would be interested in visiting. Yeah, they have a lot of cool things. I know they also like maybe 2 years ago they released a book with the original illustrations from the mangaka, and she was also heavily inspired by high fashion. So even Sailor Moon's iconic outfit when she's the Moon Princess was actually inspired, I think, from a Versace dress. I could be wrong on that, but you can actually, because the mangaka loves high fashion. So a lot of what you see within the manga was inspired by like fashion runways. So it's just really interesting.
That's really cool.
Yeah.
I like it.
Yeah. So thank you so much for joining us. As always, like, subscribe, and we will see you next time. Bye, everyone.